have you ever had a feeling of not being enough ever in your life?
I think the question is who hasn't. It's about to get personal.
It's about to get
Very
personal.
personal. At some point in time, you just feel like you're not doing enough.
I can
think
see
I'm
some tears.
No,
The sigh.
you don't see tears.
You start to self-doubt a lot.
Yeah.
You start to ask yourself a lot of questions, and you start to like sabotage yourself as well. Does this person not like me for who I am?
But then there's this feeling of why.
You ask yourself, why are they interested?
Yes.
Well, hi.
Hello.
Welcome to another day,
Thank
another
you.
episode. Why are you saying thank you? Am I welcoming you?
Welcome to you too. I guess.
No, I'm saying welcome to everybody.
Yeah.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Heart on Pause.
Yes.
Yeah, today we're putting our heart on pause for a bit. When you're heart on pause, you're not breathing, but okay. For a bit, and we're going to talk about the feeling of not being enough.
Ooh.
That's a deep one.
Oh, okay.
That's a deep one.
That's a very deep one.
We're going to have to scrutinize like the whole thing, make a whole surgery.
It's about to get personal.
It's about to get
Very
personal.
personal.
Very personal. That's actually like the whole sense of it. We have to go
Yeah.
dive deeper.
Yeah, true.
For
true.
people to also feel like they can relate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just you. It's all of us.
It's all of
Yeah.
us. We
Either
like
way.
you're not the only one going through it.
You're
We
not-
are all
you're
going
not
through it.
alone in it.
You're not alone in it, Vala. So that's how it's going to be. Yeah, have you ever had a feeling of not being enough ever in your life?
I think the question is who hasn't.
Who actually hasn't?
Yeah, actually.
Who actually hasn't? Yeah.
I've been there.
Oh wow. I can
think
see
I'm
some tears. Can I see some tears? It's like
No.
the sigh.
You don't see tears. No, but I've been there. I think I was recently there.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a thing that just happens quite often. I
Quite
think.
often.
Yeah. At some point in time, you just feel like you're not doing enough, or you feel like you need to do something to be enough.
Someone.
Yeah, to be someone, to be seen.
Is
to
it
be
more for
loved.
someone? Is it for like? Is that a feeling you have like in yourself, or is it like from an outside factor?
I think it's a bit of both.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't feel like I'm doing enough for myself. I don't feel like I'm living up to my potential.
Yeah.
I feel like I could be doing more, and then it just makes me feel like I'm not enough. But sometimes I feel like I'm not enough because I don't feel loved. Yeah, that's Ale.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're diving
It's-
too deep, too soon.
Yeah.
This is too soon.
But I have both, which is I feel like I'm not doing enough, and sometimes feel like I'm not being enough, which is it could be hard.
But when you talk about like, I'm actually very interested because we're living in the same household.
Yeah.
So if you say not being loved, how do you mean?
I wouldn't say family wise,
Oh, okay.
because family wise our home is quite okay.
Yeah.
Ale, we are all quite very close. So yeah, I think it's really good. Just that at some point you crave more. You crave more than just family. You crave, say, something romantic, which yeah.
I know what you mean. It's like a feeling of sometimes your family loves you, your friends love you, but like you want some other kind of
a different kind of love.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
what happens when you don't feel enough in your personal life. Like
Exactly.
personally, you feel not enough for
Yeah.
have someone not seen you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think for me personally, when I don't feel enough, I stop myself from actually feeling loved. I don't
Wait.
Put myself in positions where I can feel loved.
So you sabotage yourself then?
Pretty much.
Wow.
And I know this, but when it's happening, I can't stop it. It's a very, it's a decision that I can't take for myself. It sometimes happens. I'm aware of it. very aware.
Yeah.
But then there's not much I can do about it. Or even if I try to take steps to doing it, I end up just making a fool of myself. Or at least I feel like I do.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Like, how do you mean taking steps into doing it?
Ali, say, so I don't get out much. So recently I was trying to, get out a bit more. Meet people, meet some new
Meet
people.
Monday.
Yeah. And it's, yeah. At some point you do get out, people see you, people find you interesting, or let me say people find me interesting, they want to talk to me, but then there's this feeling of why.
You ask yourself, why are they interested?
Yes.
Wow. Is it so? It all boils down to like not feeling enough or not feeling good about you. So you sabotage.
I don't know, I've sabotaged myself from feeling the love that people give me. Then I'm like, why? I start asking questions, or sometimes, I think you've seen this, I become unintentionally rude.
Unintentionally.
Yeah, I become kind of rude for no good reason. Which, as you know, people don't like rude people.
No.
And it
not acceptable.
sort of pushes them away.
True.
And I've noticed that I tend to do this a lot, or even if I don't push them away, after I speak to them, we have a nice, say, chat.
Yeah.
Then I'm just switch off.
Do you think you're not deserving of love?
I felt that at some point. I don't feel that anymore.
Good.
But I don't know the steps to take to make that better. Because love is like almost everything else. It's a skill that one needs to learn. Like,
is that a skill?
Not love itself, but the act of loving.
Okay.
The socializing aspects of it. We are social beings. We need people. We need to talk to each other, and we need more than just family. We need closer bonds than that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say closer, but we need different bonds like
different
that.
bonds. Yeah.
And to be able to do that, you need the skill of socializing.
True.
You need the skill of talking to people and not, being weird as hell.
Not being weird as well.
But that's the thing. People like you for you. People like you're weird.
Yeah.
Just that I tend to shoot myself in the foot by thinking they don't. And then...
Yeah, that's where the problem lies, isn't it? I mean, you're not feeling like competent enough for others. But who is to say there's like
that?
Yeah, who is to say they don't like that? And who is to say they're actually like measuring you based on like something that...
Yeah. So I kind of judge myself before others judge me.
Before others judge you.
And it's a very hard truth to live in. But...
Does it come from like a deep-rooted thing?
Probably.
You think? Or if you've never like analyzed it?
I've thought about it. I don't know why. I still don't have an answer, a full answer or anything of that sort.
Okay.
But I just know it's there.
It's just there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sometimes after it happens, I realize and I'm like, why did I just do that? But it's maybe too late.
Yeah, then for some people.
Even if it's not, I still convince myself it's not worth it.
Worth it for you or for the other person? That's a question for the gods.
So how about you?
I mean, in personal life, when it comes to like relationship with friends, with family, it's sometimes like that because just as we said in the beginning, like, who has never felt not enough? Yeah, because I think when it comes to even family, sometimes you like something happens and you feel some kind of way. You're like, ugh, am I not enough for whatever situation that happens? When it comes to like friends, it's also like that sometimes. I'm always like, does this person not like me for who I am? Or is there something that I'm doing that you start to self-doubt a lot?
Yeah.
You start to ask yourself a lot of questions and you start to like sabotage yourself as well. That's how it gets to a time, and most of the time, like you see on social media, people will be like, I don't have any friends. I don't have any friends. It's like sometimes we just sabotage ourselves.
Yeah.
because there are people who are willing to be there for you, but sometimes maybe you self-doubting yourself is actually blocking it.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
And for me personally, I actually tend to self-sabotage a lot when it comes to like friendship, but also relationships, romantic relationships. So that's just how I think. I don't know. It's not like that's how we are wired.
Tend to really?
Yeah, you don't see it.
I've never seen that. Or
No.
at least I've never noticed that.
You've never noticed. Yeah, I think it's not even about you never noticing. It's about also the mask that I put on.
True.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a mask. We always think like we're living in the same household. You should know. No, you don't, because even at home, I tend to put a mask on so you see a certain kind of me.
Yeah.
You see that kind of me that maybe makes you happy. That kind of me that annoys you. It stays there. But like when it comes to a deeper part of life now, it's something that you tend to sometimes just hide it.
True.
So nobody will know there's something wrong with you.
True. But then to find love or to have love in life, you need to let someone see that part of you, the you that you don't want anyone to see. Which, as I'm saying that, I realize is something I should probably do. To just sometimes let go and let people see you for you, see your weird nature, see the things you do that are cringy, the things you do that are just sometimes not worthy of doing.
Or sometimes the doubts you have about yourself.
Yeah.
Just let people see it. But it's actually difficult because you think that's how you were saying you judge yourself before
others judge
you. That's the whole thing. I know what you think before I come to you.
Yeah.
So I think about the whole situation.
Then I'm getting into my head.
You be in your head, you overthink it, and you create a scenario.
Yeah.
And then you be like, okay, this is how this person will react when I tell them I'm feeling this kind of way.
Yeah, so I should probably not tell them that.
I should probably not tell them. I should probably not show it. I should probably not tell them I have maybe doubts about what we're having, or I'm really overthinking what we're having.
It keeps going on, and it's like I should probably keep quiet and just not tell anyone.
I should probably just shut up.
Yeah,
fella.
Which is not the best way to think.
No, but in our personal lives, it affects us also so much because when that happens, we tend to also self-isolate.
Yeah,
a lot.
I do that.
But you get in your head. I see you do that a lot of times. You get lost in like what you're doing. Sometimes. And sometimes I remember like sometimes I come to see you just lying on the floor and I'll be like, is everything all right? Like, yeah. And then there I actually know that there's actually something going on in the head. You've been in your head too much.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes just like I said, I know exactly what I'm doing wrong. Or at least I know most of it.
Or what is wrong with you.
Yeah,
kind of.
Or at least what I think is wrong with me.
Yeah.
But the issue is not knowing how to solve it, or even knowing how to solve it, but taking the steps, getting away from the fear, and just taking the step to actually do the thing that you're afraid of doing. Then you self-isolate, which is much easier.
Yeah.
It's much easier to not deal with people than to deal with people.
When you're feeling that way. You know.
That's why I said socializing is a skill. That's what people need to learn.
It is a great skill.
If you know how to deal with people, you know how to deal with their quirks, you know how to deal with their anger, you know how to deal with them when you're bored with them.
Yeah, but also you know how to deal with them even when you yourself from deep within, you're not feeling okay too.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how people put masks on.
Yeah.
And then you see like maybe happy people, you're like, this person must have some deep issues in them. Yeah. But sometimes it's also, they've just mastered the skill of dealing with people without letting it affect their own personal issues.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Which is one of the hardest things to do. Just learning to let people kind of go. Learning to let their issues go. Learning to be you and fully you.
Yeah.
But
I guess it's a very, like, just as we said in the beginning, like everyone goes through it. Yeah. So the reason why it's actually like the conversation seems deep and is because like you even don't know how to fathom everything yourself. You get me? I've not even got to the point where I understand why I'm doubting myself sometimes.
at times I see myself doing something and I think to myself, why? Why am I doing this? Like, what's pushing me to do this?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. I really understand. But maybe let's move on to like maybe another part of self-doubt. When it comes to like school. School, when you go to school and you're doing, for example, let me give like a very personal example. So when people see me, people in my personal life, when they see me, they think I'm very social and that like I'm like I talk a lot. So obviously you're able to do something like kind of something like presentations.
Yeah.
But I always self-sabotage myself when it comes to presentations. Like the feeling I have, I had, even I still have it because like earlier this week I experienced it. I had to do something at work and present something and my heart came out of my chest. Literally.
How so?
I just don't know. It's just when I have to present something in front of people, that whole socializing part of me just goes away. And I start thinking, I can't do it. I can't talk. I can't speak enough. Like my words are not articulated enough.
Do you think maybe it's because you think people wouldn't listen?
I think I don't know. I actually don't know.
Because sometimes we choose not to talk, or at least I do, because I don't think I don't think I have anything important to say.
Okay.
Which is quite okay if you don't have anything. But then sometimes I don't think anyone is willing to listen.
Listen to what you have to say.
Yeah.
But what if, like, just as I'm talking with school, you have to. You get in the moment where you're like, we have to prepare a presentation. Maybe there's this subject that demands me coming out of my shell. And I'm like, no, I can't do it. That's what always I'm saying in my head when I have to do a presentation at school. When I had to do presentations at school, it was like, no, I can't do it. And then I start feeling nervous and I start shaking. But sometimes you end up doing it and people will be like, oh, you actually did great.
But in you yourself, you're like, did I?
Like, I always feel like there are better people than me who can do this. Like, am I even good at this? Do I even talk enough? Like,
that's where you start to feel I'm not really enough.
Yeah. I'm not even, I don't feel enough to be in this place. Yeah. Am I even deserving of being in this place?
But then we're getting into a different aspect, which is more like imposter syndrome.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
Yeah, and that's actually good.
It's like you are good at something which brought you to where you are. But because you don't think you're good at it, or you don't think you're good enough to be where you are, you start to feel like, am I supposed to be here? Or why am I even here?
Why am I even here?
The better people, why are they not here? Then it becomes this whole thing in your head and you start going on and on and on and on. But what I've learned is I see that as a sign of actually I should probably be here. When I feel like I shouldn't.
That's when you know you should.
Yeah.
That's a good way of seeing it though.
Yeah, because then my body is in a place where it's extremely uncomfortable. It hasn't been here before.
It's not used to it.
It's something new that it needs to conquer. Something
You're
new
growing.
that it needs to grow through. That's where I'm like, I should probably stay here and make it work. So sometimes to do that, yeah.
I understand where you're coming from. It's like sometimes you feel like it's too difficult.
Yeah.
And when I feel like something is too difficult for me, why am I suffering doing something that, like, I'm in a position? For example, when I started working, I was like, okay, I'm done with school. The end result of completing and looking for a job is actually finding a job. You did an interview, you got the job. But it's always like, am I meant to be here? Why is this difficult for me to do?
True.
Why is this too difficult? If I'm supposed to be here, why is it difficult? You get me? And then you start to, I did it and I still do it when I get into difficult situations and I'm like, no, but I'm not meant to be here. So I tend to like run away from the situation because like, no, this shouldn't be it. Like this shouldn't be it. If I'm supposed to be here, I'm not supposed to feel this way. But then I understand where you're coming from. It's like the fact that you don't, you feel like you're not supposed to be there. That's actually when
means you should be there.
You should be there.
Means you just need to start working on it.
Yeah.
More.
Start doing more. Start like putting yourself into the situation. Start embracing it. I haven't looked at it that way because I just tend to, when it's becoming too difficult, I want to like get out of it.
Yeah.
I really want to run away.
I had this a lot with photography.
Mm-hmm.
When I started out, I felt I wasn't good. A lot of people say just start showing your work from the start. Detach from the personal type of work. That way you don't need to think too much about it and you can let it out easier. But I couldn't do that. I was so attached. I thought I wasn't good. I thought I wasn't good enough. And to date, I still think I'm not good enough.
You.
People tell me I am, but I don't think I am.
You.
I see some of my pictures and I just critique
Each
the
and
hell
every
out
one.
of it. I critique from A to Z. And I'm like, I should probably change this. I should do that. I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have done that. And I'm just tearing it apart from A to Z.
You just
And
become
by
a
the time
perfectionist of your life.
By the time I'm done, I hate the picture. But then that's actually where you learn that you need to, instead of just tearing it down and hating it, pick those points, use it to make something better,
Something new.
and use it to move on. Instead of, so you can feel like you're not enough, you're not doing enough, but that's when you can use that as a motivation to actually start doing something else.
Yeah.
Or to start doing something more.
True.
With who you are.
That's actually very true.
Yeah.
Because like it's also like that lower self-esteem you have, it affects you a lot because it makes you underperform.
True.
It makes you underperform because now, for example, you're working. You go to like a job, you go on a job. Like for me, for example, being a consultant, like I go on a job and sometimes the moment I see what I have to do, I'm like, no, I'm not cut out for this. This is not me. This is too difficult. Probably I shouldn't be here.
Immediately start to see all the things you can't do.
All the things I can't do. And then instead of me to take those things and actually work on them, I'm like, no, I actually force myself to not be good at it.
Yeah, you stop.
And then I get stuck there. And then I just convince myself, no, this is not what I have to do. I think I did that also with my studies. When I started studying in the university and stuff. When I go, I'm always like, no, this is too difficult. I'm not good at it. Then I bounce.
Just switch.
I just switch.
Change something.
Yeah,
change some
because
things.
I had a motto like, if something is not working, just change.
Yeah.
I had that motto with myself. But I think it's not always the case.
But that also has its place. It's just that that's not always the case.
No.
Sometimes you literally just need to work a bit harder.
A bit harder.
That's it.
But how do you fight the self-doubt?
Good question. The self-doubt part is something very difficult to get rid of. And what I try to do is, it's very hard. I just try to discipline myself in the sense that I am going to doubt myself. I am going to get scared.
Yeah.
Scared with a lot of things. I'm going to fear doing a lot of things. But I'm still going to do it.
Anyways.
Yes.
Yeah.
So self-doubt is something I still haven't been able to get over with. I don't think I ever will be able to get over with.
I would disagree on that.
Yeah? But what I try to do is, even if I'm feeling doubtful, even if I'm feeling fearful, even if I don't want to do it, I'm still going to.
Yeah.
As long as I know this is something I should do, this is something that's good for me, this is something that could help, I'm still going to do it.
Yeah, I think just to add to that point, then maybe we end off this session. It's also like the fact that I give myself a pep talk in my head. I'm like, okay, it's like a kid, like you're a kid who can do something and like you're trying to cheer the person up and say you can actually do it. That's just how I am. It's like, I'm going to do it. Yeah, that's just how I'm going. I'm like,
Take
I can do it.
And then just,
it's like, oh, I can do it. I know this will help me. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. And it actually helps me as well a lot. Exactly. Most of the time. And sometimes I also maybe talking about it with somebody and the person, because you talking with me saying your photography is not good. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You get me? Because I know you're good at what you do. You get me? So I think, that's actually a very big struggle that we need to like help ourselves daily. Help yourself, but also when you talk to someone, it helps them as well. It helps you because they will also get to know your strength and they will tell you your strength, and then you actually feel good about it, and it helps you overcome it for the moment.
You get that little win to do something more.
Voila.
And with not feeling enough, with not feeling loved, I would say that's literally just like when you're not feeling like you're good enough, you need to do more. When you're not feeling loved, that's where you need to get closer to people. Don't
Isolate.
I'm saying this to myself right now. Don't self-isolate. Don't take yourself away from people.
Yeah.
Get closer to people. Tell a friend, like tell someone your problem.
Yeah.
Even if they are not going to give you a solution, at least getting it out of your head, it's better than just staying there and letting it manifest and just go on and on and on and on.
True. That's actually true. This was a very deep episode to be honest. Like bringing everything out of yourself into the whole episode. And I actually love having this conversation with you, to be honest.
I did too.
That's actually good. I mean, we'll end here. All right. Thank you all for watching this episode, and I hope you actually enjoyed it. If you have any issues about self-doubt, not feeling enough, just talk to someone, and our DMs are always open if you want to share your problems. So I would say don't forget to follow us on our socials, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.